All right, Fight Chronicles, Episode 1, in the barbershop cut. I like to tell the story of my pro debut. It's the first time I ever experienced any type of nerves or anxiety in my life. I've had hundreds of wrestling matches, jiu-jitsu matches. I had 11 amateur fights. I've never experienced any type of nerves or anything walking to the cage or the day of the fight. And I remember my pro debut, we fought in this venue. It was a co-main event in Hawaii. It was like downtown, like Chinatown, Honolulu. And I remember waking up that morning. I cut weight the day before, and I was doing it the wrong way. You know, I learned a lot along the way, but I was definitely doing it the wrong way. And I baked myself in a sauna. I cut like 10 pounds the day of, and just remember I weighed in and everything. The next day I woke up, it's fight day, and I felt horrible. Like I didn't recover right. I didn't have the proper nutrition, the proper rehydration, and so I thought it was all like, I thought I was just sick or not feeling good, but what I was feeling was just anxiety because I didn't physically feel good. And I remember trying everything. I jumped in the ocean to try to feel better. My wife's mom had like essential oils. I was taking all these essential oils, rubbing them on me, trying to feel better, and I didn't feel better. As the day went on, I started feeling worse and worse and worse. And 4 p.m. rolls around. We had to drive to town from the North Shore to town. It's almost like an hour drive. And the whole way driving there, I'm just like thinking the worst thoughts in my head. Like why does the fight have to be today? Why can't, it could be any other day, but why does it have to be today? And so we get to town, we park, and I remember walking. We had to park far away from the venue because it's Chinatown. You just have to find street parking. And we parked our car, and as I'm walking to the venue, walk like maybe 10 blocks, I'm thinking of the worst things. I'm thinking of breaking the windows of these stores or breaking a car window just so I could get in trouble and not have to fight, because I don't want to just pull out of the fight because I need a good reason. So I was thinking of things like that, like, oh, I could just punch out this window right now. There's a cop right there and I could get arrested. And I didn't do it, so I proceeded. We get to the venue, and it was just like, it was in this tiny little bar. There's no air in there, and they had us warming up in this basement. Literally, like, no oxygen. And so I'm down there warming up, and fights are going by. I'm seeing dudes like getting knocked out, guys going out on stretchers, breaking their arms, getting choked out. So I'm just thinking the worst thoughts in my head, thinking it's gonna happen to me because of the way I feel. And I remember I was the next fight, and I'm still warming up. Again, kind of like when I fought the Russian, like I just didn't have energy in the back. It was hard for me to like break a sweat, get moving. So they call my name. They're like, Dan Ige on deck. So that means I'm about to walk out. And I remember right at that last second, I just had a mental switch. I was like, F this, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how you feel right now. You're about to fight. So I switched my mindset, and I remember going through that fight. And this dude must have felt the same way, because we went in there, we had like the sloppiest fight, and we were both just so tired and exhausted. And I ended up finishing, I broke his arm in the third round. I don't even know how the fight went. Like, it was such a blur, but I remember going into round 3 and not knowing if, I was like, number one, I don't want to go to the judges, even though I think I would have won a decision. I just knew I had to finish the fight, and I pulled everything that I had in me to just try to finish the fight. And I remember I got him in a triangle with my legs, and then switch over to an arm bar, and I just pulled his arm as hard as I can. I broke his arm, and he tapped out, and I got the win. But going into every single fight after that, whether I woke up that day and I had a bad day, I always think back to that fight, being able to like still persevere and overcome a bad day. Because I don't know who it was, but there's some world champion in whatever sport. They're like, you got to be able to be a world champion on your worst day. And that stuck with me when I was about to walk out, and I was like, I got to be able to win on my worst day. So going into every fight after that, I was like, didn't matter if I had a good day or a bad day. It's just being able to stand up and persevere no matter how you feel.